What's going on out there, everybody? Doing a little review here, or maybe more of an unboxing. This is the O'Neill Sierra ADV helmet. So some of you guys love these helmets out there. Some people don't. Some people understand this style of helmet, why we have a visor on there, the shield, so on and so forth, kind of the motocross slash street bike look. I'm actually not a super big fan of them myself. So I don't say that by, I guess, from a bird's eye view. I tried several of these helmets on maybe 10 years back when I first kind of got into the ADV scene and, started ripping down the highways on a hybrid adventure bike where you can go 100 plus if you want to down the highway, but you're usually clipping 75 miles an hour on a pretty regular basis. And coming from a motocross background, I'm really fond of motocross helmets and goggles. And I've also owned sport bikes and built choppers from the ground up and rode V-twins and, commuter bikes, things like that. So I have some experience on full face helmets. So anyway, when I got into this segment, I did like the dirt bike helmet with the goggles. It's just hard to do down the freeway, and I still do it to this day. I wear a Bell 109 with Oakley air brake goggles. The biggest problem I have is when you're running in inclement weather, even drizzle, let alone hard rain or hail, snow, things like that. The goggles just, fog up here and there, depending on what brand you have, what style you have, how warm you're running, if you washed them recently, if you put any chemicals on them, or if they're treated. And there's just some inconveniences. So anyway, the reason I say I didn't like these types of helmets, I kind of think I got into these things when they first came out. I tried the KLIM Krios when it first came out. I worked for KLIM, and it just didn't fit real good on my head. It was noisy. I've heard the Pro model's really nice. I'm actually ordering a Pro. They're just back ordered on them, so I went with this helmet as a price point helmet to just kind of try out having the visor, the flip down sunglasses, and just not running goggles for a while on some of the commuting I've been doing recently and some of the more street oriented riding I'm doing on my Tenere 700. So like I said, I tried the Krios out for a couple years when it first came out, working with KLIM. Like I said, it was a great helmet. I'm not saying it was worse or better than any ones out there. I just wasn't really used to this style helmet. It wasn't really growing on me. I tried the Bell, I think it was the MX9 or something like that. Their adventure helmet, right when it came out, I got a free one of those because I worked in the motorcycle industry, and the reps wanted me to try it out. And it was, it was a price point helmet. It wasn't super expensive. Had a really nice transition lens on it that went back and forth from smoke to clear, which is awesome. But once again, real loud. Got some buffeting, had some crosswind issues with the visor, I felt. And I also tried the AGV helmet. And I can't remember the name of that helmet. That was the first one I bought. I purchased that one from a deal from a AGV dealer or rep. And it was for a reasonable cost. I mean, I got it for about a third of what it retailed for, so it wasn't a big gamble. And it was my first foray. And that helmet, not so much the sound. The sound wasn't bad. The buffeting wasn't bad. Had a really wide and open area, bigger than a typical dirt bike helmet, and it really felt like my whole head was hanging out of the front of the visor. But I mean, that was, or the shield, it was just kind of a personal preference. It just never really fit right on me, never really grew on me. So you may ask, why am I buying a price point $150 helmet if that's the case? Like I said, I have a KLIM Krios Pro I'm going to be purchasing, or I'm waiting until it comes off a back order. And I've heard from reps of mine, friends of mine that, or people I still know that work at KLIM, that the Pro is much more advanced than the Krios. So I'm going to give that a shot. And I'm sure I'll enjoy the helmet. I won't use it for off-road use, except for some moto camping stuff. Mostly it's for when I'm commuting on my bike or doing a lot of slab and just doing some fire road stuff. I'll wear an ADV style helmet. So anyway, getting back to this helmet, like I said, it's more of an unboxing. I will do a review on this helmet, let you guys know what I think of it. This I bought from a reseller that does Amazon, reselling, eBay, reselling, that kind of stuff, palletized reselling, buying pallets and seeing what you get. He had no clue what this helmet was. These things, I think, priced for around that 140 to 160 area, I think, depending on what I've seen on sites. There's a few different colorways on this. This is a O'Neill helmet. Like I said, even anything sub 200 is a very inexpensive helmet. People will say inexpensive helmet, inexpensive head, blah, 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 so on and so forth. What you're looking for in the back is the DOT approval. If you're in certain states, you can have other approvals on there. You can have Snell, things like that. But they're all going to meet you a certain certification level. And then basically when you get like DOT, ECE, Snell, things like that, if I'll say every helmet had the same rating on it, the one that costs 150 that has the same rating, the one that costs 600 has the same rating. Usually you're really paying for like moisture wicking materials in here, comfort, graphic, brand association, licensing agreements, Monster logos, things like that, Red Bull logos, like I said, paint schemes. So the cheap head helmet for a cheap head thing is kind of an old salesman trick, and it's really not that accurate. But yeah, you get what you pay for as far as quality. Don't get me wrong there. But if they were all rated the same on impact protection as far as certifications, doesn't mean that they're even going beyond that standard. A lot of helmets are barely reaching that mark and just calling it a day. Helmet technology does not advance near as fast as jackets and fabrics and gloves and boots. So it's kind of weird that the thing we do put on our head is the slowest every 4 years. So they upgrade the expectations with dot and things like that. So it's really not the highest level priority for some reason in the industry. There are some companies like say KLIM has that cryoed. I've seen the MIP stuff. I know guys at 6D or something has some different style of you know breakdown inside their foam or impact resistance. So I don't have all the knowledge on that, guys. I'm not telling you what helmet to go buy. I'm just kind of showing you this helmet and talking about my experience with helmets, because it seems like people on this channel like to question people's experience if you don't all agree with each other. So you're going to find if you watch my channel, we'll probably not agree very often. I'm pretty firm in my beliefs and pretty stubborn, and kind of earned it over the course of my lifetime, and I really don't give a shit what other people think. So it makes it easy. But anyway, this is a very inexpensive helmet. I'm going to tell you, from the first impressions, extremely comfortable. Like I said, I got this from a reseller. This is in brand new condition. There was a tiny little dip right here that made this a return. And a lot of times when you have returns from Amazon and eBay and all these places, they write them off as part of their expenses, and they don't want it anymore, so they give it to a reseller to resell instead of putting it back to the main company it got it from. So I ended up picking this helmet for $80. So is my head worth 80 bucks? I've had 14 concussions, so I don't know what's left up there, guys. I'm sure the brain is overflowing with all this knowledge that you guys give me in the comment sections, the trolls. So I don't know if my head's worth more than 80 bucks. I'm not really worried about it. So this is an adult large. I wear a large on almost every helmet brand there is. I don't know if this is considered an intermediate oval, but it does fit like an intermediate oval. For instance, like an Aria helmet would be a little bit more of a round head, a Schuberth would be more of a round head, or a Fox or a O'Neill, from what I'm feeling here, or like a One Industries helmet back in the day would be more of an intermediate oval, for a little bit more of an oblong head. So if your helmet doesn't fit right, you're probably in the wrong style helmet. Some helmets use a couple different shells to cover a wider variety of sizes, and some use multiple shells, and you end up getting, like, I believe this is a small, medium shell, large XL shell, or no, extra small, small, medium, large, and then XL up. I think there's 3 shells in this helmet from what I read, but I could be wrong. Anyway, so getting back to it, this has a nice good clasp here where it comes down and where this actually connects when you're clicking into place. It does have a little ventilation release right here, so you can shut off some ventilation from the front. I believe there's some anti-fog properties on this lens. I don't know how much it'll deform the view. Like I said, I'm not super familiar with these kind of helmets, other than I've tried a few of them on in the past. Buffeting wise, some people don't understand the buffeting on here. They don't understand why you have a visor, but when you're running, you know, on an adventure bike or any bike, it's nice to have that visor to block the sun. If you're coming from a dirt bike background like I am, it's nice to have that sport kind of feel, but still have that visor up here. This helmet has drop-down sunglasses. If I can operate this in one hand, it goes this way. Hold on a second here. Coming in hot. So you can see, let me open this up too while you look and stare at my dropping, you guys. There is the sunglasses. So the sunglasses pop down with that little lever on the side right here. Up. Let's see if we can pull it off again. Down. So some people are fond of these, some people aren't. Some people like to wear sunglasses inside their helmets. Some people don't like the glasses at all. Some people think that's cheap to have that, or they don't like the feel of it, or don't like the look of it. I think it's phenomenal to have this. Bell's really cool, and some of their brands out there that have shields that automatically tint. I wouldn't expect that on a $150 helmet here at a price point. So this shield is clear, which is fine. And then having those drop-down sunglasses, and then it can pull away if you don't mind that style or using that. Kind of a neat feature. So one of the things you'll find on these, sometimes they start to lag a little bit and start to hang on certain brands I've had in the past, or I've seen in the past, or reviewed in the past when I was in the motorcycle industry. But while they work and function, they're pretty nice. I don't know on this helmet if you can take this visor off and pull this off. I'm sure you can still sit snug if you want to wear this like a dirt bike helmet. I did try the O'Neill dirt bike helmet on before I went to go get this to make sure it fit, and I was surprised the dirt bike helmet was pretty comfortable. I mean, O'Neill, I doubt it's still Jim O'Neill or the original founder of this brand. I'm sure it's been sold through someone who knows. Says it's designed in California, made in China. Maybe they're still running it like a family-owned business, the O'Neills. So who knows? But like I said, the O'Neill's been around for a long time. They've offered a good, better, best category in their gear, from helmets to boots to whatever. Good, better, best, meaning that they have a price point for people to start with. They also have a mid-grade price point for people that want to spend a little bit more, and usually a premium price point, which will give you a higher end product. A lot of the brands do that. So, but getting back into this, like I said, just initial impression, very comfortable as far as the fit and finish. Like I said, an intermediate oval on the actual fit of the helmet. The interior, I mean, it doesn't look super far off of some of the bells I had years back. I mean, it seems like these guys are catching up where people were maybe a few years back on the technology or the fitment or the comfort factor. It's got a little chin skirt on here, which makes it nice if you are doing road riding and high speed riding. Keeps the wind from flaring up inside there. Some people like it, some people don't. It's going to depend on how your face is designed, I guess, or how low you sit in there. For me, the fit's pretty good. My chin goes up there, doesn't touch that, it's up above it, so it's nice and comfortable. It'll just keep from some of the wind coming up underneath my chin on cold days. If it does any sort of blocking on the ventilation, you have vents right here that are wide open, right there, wide open. This one I showed you on the chin can be closed and open. I believe there's a couple little slits here. I don't know if those are vents or not. There is 2 vents up inside the visor right there. The visor doesn't seem overly flimsy, doesn't seem overly tight. I mean, tighten it down out of the box. I don't think you can adjust this thing. If you can, it'd be very minute. No, it doesn't look like that. You can tighten it down, but I don't think it goes back and forth at all. Has a good profile. The helmet looks really cool. I mean, in my opinion, got some exhaust vents right there, I believe. You got some exhaust vents right up in here. Big thing with venting, people understand you definitely want to have exhaust vents and you want to have it open so the inlet can come up through and go out the back. I noticed on the foam inside there's some channeling, so that does allow the wind to go up and over. I know some of my bell helmets for motocross back in the day, they got so much ventilation you actually hear it over your 4-stroke or your 2-stroke dirt bike, the wind blowing through there. But anyway, guys, like I said, just an open box type of thing. Fit and finish is great. I don't know the weight off the top of my head. You can go on Revzilla and Rocky Mountain MC and all those guys that everyone seems to know their face by now on their videos will tell you exactly the weight of this thing, compare it. So there's a certification on there in the back. I feel comfortable wearing this helmet. Like I said, it is an inexpensive helmet. I think for the price point, even if it was to pay full retail, I think for that 150 price range or wherever, maybe $160, it's a beautiful looking helmet. It's very comfortable. The fit and finish is nice. I can't see anything on it that I wouldn't like. And I do come from a background of wearing pretty expensive helmets, not because I'm fancy, not because I got a bunch of money. I worked in the industry for years. So when you work in the industry and you have industry friends and you work for industry companies, they want you in the best stuff to promote it and talk about it and have it being seen. So I was fortunate to do 22 years in this industry, and I got to wear some nice stuff. So anyway, this will be an interesting review, being that I'm not a super big fan of adventure helmets in the general sense. At the same token, I wear a full-blown dirt bike helmet with goggles, ripping down the highways. I put 30,000 miles a year on my bikes back in the day when I was in the industry, on ADV bikes, riding street and dirt, and also racing motocross and doing trail riding. So I put well over 20, 30,000 miles every year on bikes, some street bike stuff, but I'd say 80% to 90% of that was going to be ADV or motocross or dual sport bikes. So I was wearing a dirt bike helmet with goggles majority of that time. So this will be a nice breakaway. I'm in Arizona. We get a lot of monsoons and inclement weather. That's why I wear waterproof gear. And for the most part, when I prepare myself, I try to. And then it'll be nice to avoid those little pinprick little pieces of hail or pieces of rain when you're wearing a pair of goggles. They can get in the most tiniest little spot and just nail your face. So anyway, this is the O'Neill Sierra ADV helmet. Very inexpensive price point helmet. Like I said, on first impression, if you like a Fox helmet or a Shoei helmet, or like I said, maybe a KLIM helmet, all those helmets have a similar, I would say, feel in my personal first impression of just putting this thing on. I'll let you know about the fogging, how it goes. I'll let you know how that sunglasses goes. Once again, everyone's face is a little bit different, so the fit and finish will be a little bit different. I'll let you know how these ventilation ports work, and then how it works where you can't shut some of these off, how that works, and I'll talk about the buffeting on this. So I'll give you guys a little bit of a review after I get 2 or 3 rides in on this thing. And if you have any questions, throw them in the comment section. If you're a troll and you put shitty comments in the comment section, I will basically just thump back on you. So that's how I am. I'm not here to be everyone's friend. I'm not here to be monetized. I'm not here to be YouTube sensation or get a plaque on my wall. I'm just here to share knowledge and experience, and in the future, line up with like-minded people and go do some ADV riding and dual sport riding. But like I said, if you read through my comment section and you see me bashing someone on there, it's because they started their segment off, or their comment section off, with just being a total dickhead. So I speak dickhead pretty good. So when people speak to me, I respond back. So if you're cool, I'm cool. Treat other people how you want to be treated, but always question everything and don't let people treat you bad. Right on, guys. Stay safe out there.